Alright guys, so we're gonna have a quick update because I had a video recording for a while, kind of forgot about it, and storage space was full, so I had to delete it. There's a little runoff here, comes down, water's stagnant, meets this water that's moving. So I threw a popper, broke that off in a tree. So then I threw on this frog, and we had a couple hits on the popper. We had 2 hits on the popper, 1 off this frog. Camera was recording none of the time for any of them. So we're gonna come up here, and where the water cuts over, I think you guys can see, I don't know, I can't see the camera. Where the water cuts over in there, we're gonna fish the frog there before it gets too warm. But before we start fishing, we're gonna put a dip in. I'm gonna say lucky lipper, because for some reason, every time I say lucky lipper and then put a dip in, I catch fish. Actually, we're gonna try right in here first. I don't know if you guys can see, right next to where this giant, annoying water's coming from. But probably won't get anything there with the frog, but you never know. So we're gonna try this real quick, and then after we try this, actually we're gonna try to first off not get bit by any snakes, because there are a lot of them in here and there's a lot of cracks and creases they could be hiding in. So I'll get back to you if I catch any. Peace, dogs. Alright guys, we do got one on. Decent little smallmouth here, barely hooked. I just cast it right over against the wall, and about halfway through the middle, he just come up and ba-dink. Again, that sound was ba-dink. See you later, buddy. Thanks for biting. So we didn't get skunked today. That's good news. And you guys know I actually know how to somewhat fish. Because of what I started off doing, I wasn't having much success. I was throwing right over in that tall grass, because I know it's a real sandy bottom. I figured there might be some fish getting ready to make beds over there. You know, something, but that wasn't working. So I took one cast over there, got it stuck in the fence, and yeah, that got all messed up. And I was just pulling it across, and the next thing I know, it just disappeared. I'm like, where'd my frog go? I was like, oh wait, I got a fish. So we're gonna try to replicate that. It was just right over against the wall like that, except for I didn't bounce it off the wall. It was just short of the wall. Still landed in about the same spot. I was a little bit closer to the bank, but it looks like it's working its way over there anyways. For a second, I almost forgot to turn the camera on. I started reeling the fish in, and the next thing I know, I was like, oh yeah, the camera. But that was fun. We didn't get skunked, so I was actually just thinking, I was like, I'm about to throw on a little tube jig sometime here. I'll throw on a little tube jig and try to get some smallmouth. And next thing I know, bam, smallmouth. I don't know if that's what the ones over in that little creek area were or not, but I'll save you guys some talking, and I'll catch back up with you when I catch another fish if I do. Alright guys, fish number 2, he just came off. A little largemouth. Now if he would stop moving, I could get him back in the water. Of course, it goes right down to where the snakes would be. No, don't get yourself down in there. Oh, okay. So, now that that's over with, nice little largemouth. And as you can probably tell, he's been bit at by something. If I had to guess, I'd say a pretty good sized muskie. I actually missed one. It was out in the middle where that one was. So it looks like my best bet's gonna be throwing it out in the middle. Get back on my little perch where I know there's no snakes. But I think my best bet's gonna be throwing it out in the middle, because that's where I've had all my hits over here. The one was like right out in this little pool. The other one was right over there, and that one was like right in there. So thinking my best bet's gonna be just that. Throwing on the edge over there and working it across. Just throwing it somewhere over there, and because I know it gets real shallow over there, so I don't know if they're following it or what's going on, but that's a pretty nice little mini explosion that he had there. Just seen one explode on something over here. Right about where the frog's at right now. It's funny how I just get done saying, oh, maybe I'll see, or maybe my best bet's towards the middle, and then I see one way over by the edge. But what happened with the one was it just kind of sucked it under. And it was a smaller smallmouth. It just kind of sucked it under, and I was like, what happened? And then I was like, I seen the fish turn, and I was like, oh, I got a fish on. And then I pulled it right out of his mouth. Usually like right somewhere in here is where they like to hit. Don't know if you guys can really see that well or not, but right out kind of where all those waves stop. So I'm kind of throwing it out towards where the waves are, letting it do its thing, and just working it in whichever way the waves want to take it. But throwing it out in those waves definitely makes it a little bit harder for me to see where it's at, because a big wave will hit and then I'll just completely lose my frog. Not sure if I have a bite or if it's a fish or if it's the water. I don't know what it was over there, but I seen something like, I don't know, probably 60 yards down this little rock hill over that way. There's some sort of little critter. I don't know if there's like a mink or a weasel or what have you. Geez, my frog made it the whole way over there. That might be good though, I haven't really tried over there. Yep. Oh, that was a good fish too. I was just gonna say maybe there's fish over there because I haven't really casted over there that much. That was a good fish. Would have been the best on the day. I don't know if you guys could see him roll or not. Probably not, if I had to guess. That's upsetting. It's good to see though that I didn't miss the topwater bite. See, like right now, I have no clue where my frog's even at. I just know I'm pulling it. And if I see a huge splash or, oh, I see it now. I say if I see a huge splash or something, I know I got a fish. Or if I just feel like a tug, you know. Nice little tuggy tug. That's cool. I got a blow up on camera, I hope. Hope you could see it. It looked a lot cooler from my eyes because I know you guys aren't going to be, you're not going to be able to see nearly as good as I could. So I'm going to pause you guys and bring you back if I catch another one. Well, that sucks. There's another case of I couldn't see where my frog was because of all the waves, and there was a lot of slack in my line because I couldn't tell where my frog was, and next thing I know, I thought it was over here or way over there. I see a fish jump and I start reeling in, and my lure or my frog starts coming from that way. So kind of sucks. Looked like a pretty decent fish. I mean, a decent fish in my books. Probably a little guy in your guys' books. But a fish is a fish, and a frogfish is a frogfish. So, like, I'm doing my best to keep my eye on it, and then a wave will roll by and I'll just completely lose it. I can kind of see where the water drops off. I don't know if I said that already or not, but it's like right on the other side, like right where these waves start. Like it's high ground right where I just casted, and then I'll do my best to let you know when I'm back in the shallow stuff, if you guys can even see. Like right now, or I'm in deep stuff right now. And I'm just hitting the edge of it. And back in shallow. And I think these fish are kind of hanging out right around where it turns shallow to deep, which would make sense. Which is why I'm casting clear over into that shallow and bringing it across over there too. I haven't really brought it through here many times, if any. I'm still upset about that one. It was a good one. Oh, did you guys see that? I really hope you saw that. It was right here and you just come zooming out of nowhere. Unfortunately, he went to slam it as soon as I pulled, and no luck. Let's throw it over there. Haven't thrown over there in a minute. Maybe there's a fish that wasn't hungry then, but's hungry now. They're definitely still pretty active, which tells me I could probably throw on a spinner and smack one pretty good. But I really want to catch frogfish while I can. Because like I said, I rarely ever do I even use a frog when I'm not at like a private pond or something, let alone catch fish on it. Because every time I try it, I have no luck, so I don't ever really try it. There's another fish jumping over there. This thing's got me running in circles. Alright, so maybe the key is wait like 5 minutes while casting over here to my right, and then after like 5 minutes throw over there again, because maybe they'll be looking for food again. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully we'll be back with you. Alright guys, so the funniest thing just happened. I had a little baby pike. I mean, probably 16 inches, like not over there at all. Little baby pike. He went completely airborne. Probably like right in here. He just sailed right across the top of it. Missed it by a mile. It's like he was just trying to see what it was or scare it away. I thought it was funny though, because I'm going for bass on this particular item of choice. But it's kind of funny because I watched him the whole time because I just found my frog again coming out of those waves. And next thing I know, there's a little baby pike goes flying right over top of it. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a pretty good sized fish. There's a lot of fish being active right now, coming up to the top and hitting things. But it's kind of funny, I just didn't expect to ever have a pike blow up on a frog. I mean, I guess it's understandable. I mean, if I was a pike and I'd seen a frog, I'd probably eat it. But the fish are getting a lot more active right now, at least jumping wise. Oh, I had one hit. Oh, that must have been a pike. He cut me clean off. I don't know if you guys can even see that. I thought he missed it and I started laughing, and then joke's on me, huh? So I'm gonna put a steel leader on, and then I'm gonna tie my bigger frog on and try again. I'll see you guys when I come back. Alright guys, so hopefully next time something stupid like that happens, I'll learn from it immediately and not have to lose a frog in the process. But now we got a little bit of a bigger frog on, which means smaller fish probably will not be getting caught. But the pike are starting to get active, so that's good news. Definitely a bigger frog. I just know this time, if a pike comes up and grabs it, I'll be able to actually try to reel him in. I don't know how well this weedless hook type setup is gonna hook into a pike. Might work pretty good because they clamp down on it pretty hard. Hoping it works. Well, if they couldn't see it before, they definitely can now. Oh, missed one. Don't think that was a pike though. Funny how I was reeling it through there, kind of hoping for another pike to bite it, and then what looked to be a pretty good largemouth or just a smallmouth come up and snapped it. I'll tell you guys, fishing with a frog is probably my favorite way to fish, which is why I want to have a bass pond when I grow up a little bit and have my own career and have my own house and stuff. I want to have a little bass pond behind it, preferably not little. I want to have like a whole bunch of stuff strategically planned out so they can thrive, not just survive. Obviously try to put some sort of barrier up around it so that way there's not like raccoons getting in there eating all the babies and stuff. Because to get big bass, you gotta have baby bass first. Unless you just go catch a bunch of slaunches and put them in there. But after I bring this cast in, I'll pause you guys so you're not watching a whole bunch of boring footage. I'm trying to bring it this way, but the waves are taking it that way. Someone should keep count. How many bass have I lost today? Counting the 3 that were over there that you guys didn't see because I had to delete the video. So someone start keeping track of how many bass I lose or how many fish I lose, counting that pike. And like I said, the 3 that were over there. But that ought to be a fun number to read in the comments, how many fish I could have had. I wouldn't count the pike or bass that come up and miss it, because that's not really my fault. The one kind of was, but the one pike just was not even close to my lure and my frog. So I wouldn't really say that was my fault. But yeah, guys, hopefully we'll be back with you. Alright guys, so not exactly sure what it was, but I missed a pretty big fish right there, but over to the left more. It's a pretty good sized fish too. Not sure if it was a bass or not, but it doesn't really matter what it was because all I know is it was big and I didn't get it. Like as soon as it was a good explosion too. Like he come up out of the water. And I don't know if I'm setting the hook the wrong way, not waiting long enough, waiting too long. I don't know what it is, guys. I do see a couple pretty big fish moving. Heading right this way. I just seen a couple real dark shapes, pretty good size coming down through here. But I just figured I'd let you guys know I missed another one, so I'll be back with you hopefully. Yep, figured I'd let you guys know. It's only been a couple minutes since the last update. Figured I'd let you guys know I just missed another pike. Oh, there's a good bowfin right there. Right up by my froggy frog. But this pike was so cool. It just come like straight up out of the water, like just boom, and just demolished it. Luckily I have a steel leader on, or else that probably would have just snapped me off too. It's another thing with these bowfin that are in here too, they have very sharp teeth, so. Didn't really expect to see one of those topwater. I was kind of surprised to see that, but I guess I'm surprised to see it because usually the way I fish for bowfin, I don't know if you can count that as my fault. But usually the way I fish for bowfin is I put 2 poles out, a minnow on each one, a good sized sinker on each one, and just throw it out there. and usually my pole starts going crazy. So I pick it up and reel in a bowfin. I don't know if bowfin even have, I mean, it'd take a pretty good sized bowfin to eat this frog. Their mouths don't open too wide. So maybe that's what happened on that last one, because that might have been a bowfin actually. But if it was not a very big one. So apparently the steel leader's not bothering them too much. I mean, I haven't had any bass hit. Actually, I don't know what the one over there was. But other than that, I can't even confirm that that was a bass. So I don't know if the steel leader, I don't know if the bass can see it, or they just don't want that big of a frog for breakfast. But one thing's for sure, these pike and bowfin do. So I'm sure I'll be back in 30 seconds saying I missed another one. Well guys, I'm not even kidding you, it was probably about 30 seconds later. Had a bowfin come up, he took it under. I don't know if I need to wait longer. I think on the next one I'm gonna try to wait longer and set the hook up. Because I've been kind of pulling it to the side, setting the hook. So maybe I just need to take my time, reel in all the slack, and set the hook up. But anyways, my phone is about to die, so hopefully I can get a cool another blow up for you guys. And usually once this phone's about to die, it dies quick. Like I cannot even see my screen right now. So after this cast, I'm gonna have to turn the phone off, make sure the footage is saved and stuff like that. Alright guys, sorry to cut you guys short of the fishing trip, but I'm gonna have to turn you guys off just to make sure this footage is saved. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, remember guys, live life full draw.